Imagine waking up and, before you even open your eyes, feeling your heart racing as if you were late for school, even though you didn't have any commitments. Yes, anxiety doesn't care about age, and it can turn the most peaceful day into a mental marathon. But what if I told you that there is a simple, cheap, and even fun way to put an end to this discomfort? In today's video, you'll discover how small actions, done right at home, can help silence that annoying buzz in your head. Get ready to learn a secret that doesn't involve medicine or complicated recipes. Have you ever noticed how, after a bad night's sleep, even coffee seems to lose its taste? Anxiety does that. It steals the pleasure of simple things. That's why this subject is so important for those in their prime. Studies show that almost 30% of people over 60 feel anxious frequently, and many don't even realize it. It's not just worrying about health or bills. It's that unexplained butterflies in your stomach that suddenly makes everything seem difficult. And the worst part, this feeling can interfere with everything from your appetite to your desire to talk to friends. Now, stop and take a deep breath. Feel the air slowly coming in, like someone smelling the cornmeal cake baking in their grandmother's oven. This gesture alone calms you down a bit, doesn't it? Imagine taking care of a potted plant, watering it, stirring the moist soil, and watching the first leaf appear. It seems simple, but it's almost magical. Taking care of a plant is like tuning in to that old radio that only played good music. Little by little, the agitation disappears and a comfortable silence takes over. And there's scientific evidence to prove it. Researchers have discovered that 15 minutes a day dedicated to plants can lower blood pressure and even improve sleep. It's like swapping the 8 p.m. soap opera for a chapter in your own story of calm and well-being. And you know what's best? You don't need a garden or experience. Any corner will do, even the windowsill where you used to leave your battery-powered radio. If you think you need big changes to feel better, prepare to be surprised. In the next block, we will discover together how to transform a forgotten space in the house into a haven of tranquility. For many, when anxiety sets in, it's as if the entire body goes on alert for no apparent reason. The heart races, the hands get cold, and the mind seems to go round in circles. Have you ever felt like this, standing in front of a window, watching time go by and feeling the weight of the day? Carlos knew this feeling well. Before opening himself up to new possibilities, he would spend entire mornings sitting in his armchair, staring at the cup of coffee that trembled slightly in his hands. The smell of fresh coffee no longer brought comfort. It only reminded him of how much color the days had lost. The noises of the street, which used to cheer him up, seemed distant and almost unreal. The clock on the wall ticked slowly, and each minute seemed like a challenge. For Carlos, leaving the house or calling a friend required superhuman effort. Small invitations, like walking around the block, were refused without hesitation. The ever-present anxiety made it seem like any movement would be too risky. His quality of life plummeted. His sleep became light, interrupted by insomnia. His appetite disappeared. Conversations became rare and brief, as if words were scarce. He felt it in his body, a stiff back, shallow breathing, a constant tightness in his chest. The mornings were long and silent, and in the midst of all this, the feeling of isolation grew. It is no exaggeration. According to the World Health Organization, more than 20% of elderly people report symptoms of significant anxiety. This means that, for every 5 elderly people, at least one faces this discomfort almost daily. Have you ever stopped to think if someone close to you also suffers from this? Or perhaps it is hard to believe that such an overwhelming feeling can arise even without major reasons. This is where the first common belief arises. Will only big changes solve this condition? Will strong medicine, complicated treatment, a revolution in routine be necessary? Take a deep breath. Think for a moment. How many times have you heard that old people don't change anymore, or that anxiety is only for young people? Well, stories don't always follow the expected script. And between you and me, if it were really impossible to change after a certain age, how can we explain grandmothers who learn to use their cell phones to send memes to their grandchildren? Time passes, but the desire to rediscover joy remains. What could transform a simple corner of the house into a true haven of tranquility? Have you ever heard the old saying that in order to age well, you just have to accept your limitations and loneliness as a natural part of life? This is one of the most common beliefs, and unfortunately, it is quite limiting. Viewing isolation as something inevitable only increases the burden of anxiety, making everyday life even more difficult. The truth is that socializing and small social interactions continue to be essential at any age. In fact, recent research shows that elderly people who maintain regular contact with friends, neighbors, or family have significantly lower levels of anxiety and better quality of sleep. Think of Donna Zalia, who started talking to her neighbor every day while watering her plants in the window. Small gestures, such as exchanging tea recipes or asking about the weather, can transform a silent morning into a moment of joy. Many are surprised to discover that dealing with anxiety does not mean completely eliminating all symptoms. The belief that you need to not feel anything to be well can be cruel and even discouraging. Instead, the most important thing is to learn to live with your emotions in a healthy way. A concept called emotional self-regulation, which is nothing more than the ability to deal with difficult feelings without letting them dominate you, can be compared to caring for a plant. The soil is not always perfect. Sometimes there is a lack of water or too much sun, but with small daily adjustments, life continues to flourish. And the observable benefit of this? Fewer sleepless nights and more willingness to enjoy small joys, such as enjoying a coffee or listening to music. Contrary to what is generally thought, cultivating well-being does not require major changes all at once. The secret lies in small actions, which add up like the leaves of a plant slowly growing. A simple routine, such as making your own mint tea or taking care of a pot on the balcony, can be the starting point for transforming the emotional climate of the house. Now, take this moment to take a deep breath. Have you tried any of these small changes in your daily life? Share your experience in the comments. I would love to know how it was and what you felt. If this content resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. That way, together, we create a space for support and exchange of ideas. And since we're taking care of this inner garden, how about discovering, in the next block, practical and simple ideas to cultivate well-being every day? After all, even cacti need a little attention. And, let's face it, sometimes we do too. What if you tried to set aside 5 minutes of your day to just take a deep breath and pay attention to your surroundings? Many seniors think they need big changes to feel relief, but small breaks, like sitting by a window and watching the clouds move or listening to the birds sing, can start to transform your routine. Try it. Choose a quiet place in your home, sit comfortably, and breathe slowly, counting to 4 on the inhale and 6 on the exhale. Repeat this cycle for 5 minutes. At the end, notice how your body feels lighter and your mind feels a little calmer. Here's a tip. Keep a chair near your favorite window so it's easier to remember this daily moment, almost like watering a special plant in your indoor garden. During breakfast, many people have found that starting the day with a conversation, even a brief one, can be a powerful antidote to anxiety. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. A quick phone call to a friend, a text to a neighbor, or a simple good morning to someone you live with can make a difference. If you live alone, how about recording an audio recording, telling a memory, or asking how a loved one is doing? The effect is immediate. Your heart warms and the feeling of isolation diminishes. A practical tip is to write down a list of people you would like to say hello to throughout the week on the refrigerator. This way, the habit will become stronger and the circle of affection will expand. Speaking of tasty solutions, how about trying a comforting mini recipe? Prepare a calming tea. Put 1 tablespoon of dried chamomile or a tea bag in a large cup. Add 250 milliliters of boiling water. Cover and let it infuse for 5 minutes. Strain if necessary and, if desired, add a teaspoon of honey. Drink slowly, feeling the aroma and warmth with each sip. This simple ritual helps to calm your thoughts and brings comfort, especially on nights when anxiety insists on appearing. And now, meet Marta. At 67 years old, her chest would tighten every time the phone rang. Just thinking about talking to someone made her feel tired. One day, she decided to try the tea, and as she held the hot cup, she noticed her hand was shaking less. The soft scent brought back memories of peaceful afternoons from her youth. In the following days, she noticed that she slept better and woke up less worried. Marta's inner garden, which had been half forgotten before, was beginning to bloom. And of course, she laughed at herself when she realized that she was becoming an expert in teas after decades of thinking that coffee alone would solve everything. If you have tried any of these ideas, share your experience. Maybe your tip will inspire someone else to cultivate their own well-being. In addition to the solutions already presented, there are other accessible ways to cultivate well-being and reduce anxiety in old age. One of them is to create a gratitude journal, setting aside a few minutes a day to write down 3 small good things that happened, even if they are simple, like smelling fresh coffee or receiving an unexpected phone call. This practice encourages you to look at the positive and strengthens your hope, especially on the most challenging days. Another suggestion is to try light stretching exercises when you wake up. Stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, and gently move your neck, following your breathing. These actions awaken the body and help to release accumulated tension. For those who enjoy manual activities, I have a second mini recipe: homemade lavender sachet. Take a small piece of clean fabric, place a few spoonfuls of dried lavender flowers inside, easily found in health food stores, and tie it with a bow or string. Keep the sachet in a drawer or under your pillow. Every time you open the drawer or lie down, take a deep breath of the gentle aroma, which helps to calm you down and takes you back to the old days when your grandparents would perfume the house with care and affection. The smell brings back memories of childhood or lazy afternoons and can bring a nostalgic smile to even the most serious of faces. Carlos, our character, decided to try these tips. He started to record the small good moments of the day, and before going to sleep, he would hold the lavender sachet, smelling the aroma and remembering funny stories from his youth. Soon, he noticed that he slept better, woke up in a better mood, and even started inviting neighbors over for a simple coffee without feeling so anxious. The smile returned to his face, and one morning, while stretching out on the porch, he noticed the birds singing more clearly and a comforting feeling of belonging in life. Of course, not every day is easy. Laziness or forgetfulness may set in, but small reminders placed around the house, a note on the fridge, a special cup next to your journal, will help you maintain the new habit. And if anxiety persists, don't hesitate to seek professional support. Talking to a doctor or therapist is a sign of care and wisdom. In short, small actions, such as taking a deep breath by the window, growing plants, writing down gratitude, or preparing a scented sachet, change your routine and bring lightness. Try it. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share these ideas with those who can benefit. This week's challenge is simple. Choose one of these practices and keep it for 7 days, writing down how you feel. Soon, I'll bring more special content to enrich your daily life. Remember, taking care of your inner garden is an act of self-love, and each flower planted is a silent victory over anxiety. Take a deep breath, smile, and move on.